Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Happy Saturday morning to you. Today, I want to talk to you about financial warfare and about how to win this money game. And I'm thinking about the story with David, King David, before he became a king, and how when he was a boy, how he showed up at this war. They was having a war, and all of his brothers was at the war, and King Saul was at the war, and everybody was hemmed up because they was all afraid of this giant. The giant's name is Goliath. So everybody's afraid of Goliath. But nobody want to fight him because Goliath got 6 fingers, 6 toes, and he got a shield that weighed hundreds of pounds. He got an armor bearer with him. He got a stinky breath. Everybody afraid of him, right? So nobody want to fight this dude. So when David shows up, he said, "What's going on around here?" They say, "You heard this cat? He's been out here for 40 days threatening everybody. And he talking about our God, and he talking about our culture, and he talking about making us slaves. He talking about beating the hell out of us. Everybody's scared of him. Everybody's shaking in their boots." So they said, David said, "What?" He said, "What this dude?" He said, "You talking like that?" He said, "Man," he said, "I got something for him." He said, "But first of all," he said, "what does the man get who knocks this guy off?" So they said, "Man, you get to be free from income taxes, and you get to have the king's daughter's hand in marriage." So they was like, "What? I get to be free from income taxes, and I get to do what? I get to have the king's daughter. I get to be the son-in-law to the king." He said, "So you mean I get to marry? I get to be married into royalty?" See, David came from a poor family, and his father, Jesse, was they were Bethlehemites, and so Benjaminites rather, and they were poor people. They didn't have much, so they wasn't part of the royal order that was going on. So he was a very unknown person. But what David did know was that he knew how strong God was, and why he was out there knocking off lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! So when he gets into the war, and they tell him what he can get, he said, "Cool." He said, "Well, I'm gonna go ahead and knock this dude off because this dude is defying the very God of heaven and earth." He said, "And it's just this dude is just rude, ignorant. I'm gonna go pop him off, and we're gonna be good." So Saul said, "All right." The word gets back to Saul. He's the king, and I'm talking to you today about financial warfare. So Saul says, "Okay, go ahead on and fight this giant." He said, "I'm with that because what I can't beat him." He says, "So go ahead on in and knock him off." And Saul starts putting this armor on David. So he puts on this armor, the kind of armor that Saul had on. So David said, "Man, I can't go in here and fight this guy with this armor on because I haven't proven this." He said, "The stuff I've done is proven." He's saying, "The stuff that you're doing is not proven." Why? Because it don't work for you. It's just like I'm telling you today about about money warfare, financial warfare. The reason you lose in a war is because you ain't got the right armor. You're walking into a bank with a regular, just opening an account and saying, and just acquiescing to the bank and saying, "Hey, okay, so okay, yes, ma'am. My name is Rick Williams. Okay, yes, my mother's name was Mary. Yeah, I live at such and such and such a place. Yeah, that's my social security number. And okay, great. All right, great. Now, and then you hand your money over. So the bank is a giant, just like Goliath is. They got 6 toes and 6 fingers, just like Goliath. Excuse me. And the only way that you're gonna beat the bank is you got to change that armor. See, David didn't come in with Saul's armor to whoop no giant because he would have got beat down. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? Just like you get beat down if you go into a bank, which is a behemoth institution, and you got the wrong armor on. If you go in with some statutory armor, then you look like a statue, right? Just like Saul was trying to do David, trying to get David to go in there all immobile and trying to fight this dude with his stuff on. But obviously, if it didn't work with Saul, it wasn't going to work for David. So when you're in the middle of some financial warfare and you want to win the battle, stop doing what the people was doing in front of you who was getting the stuff beat out of them. All right. Saul cannot win the fight. He had no way he was going to beat Goliath because Goliath was too big for Saul based on the armor that Saul had. Saul didn't have the right armor. But when I go into the bank, and everybody that I teach go into the bank, when we go into the bank, we go in with what? With a slingshot. And it's called an irrevocable tax-free tax credit producing common law trust. We don't walk into the bank with the armor on that a statutory person has because they ain't got no win. And I'm telling you today how to win the money game. You don't win the money game by going in and just giving your money away. I know where you're going to win the money game. You got to go in there and have that paperwork right, and you say, "Okay, I'm profit sharing with you. Okay, I'm not going to give you the money and you go get rich off of it. We're going to share this money together. I worked hard for this money. I'm bringing it to you. I'm not going to help you build no more institutions and stuff. Why? Because you are a giant. I hear me. You got on 6 fingers and you got 6 toes. I'm about the banking industry. And I'm talking about, and they owe you money. All right. You are owed money once you change your stuff right. So when you go in as a debtor, when you go into the banking system, it's just like putting on Saul's armor. So Saul's armor is what? Some weak armor, and you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose that battle when you go in. And this is a battle what? Over your money. Did you hear what I said? Spiritual warfare, how to win the money game. To win a money game means that when you go in, make bank and make bank deposits, this is just part of the money game. The biggest part of the money game is, do you get your money back? That's the biggest part of the money game, because now you can start making all kind of moves as long as you're getting your money back, as long as your money's protected that you're putting in, but you're going in with the wrong armor on and you're not going to win that battle. So I just want to tell you this morning, you say, why are you up so early, Brother Ricky? Well, I got to go. I'm about to go sing and preach at a funeral for one of my friends, one of my actresses in my play. Her mother passed away. She's a beautiful person. She's a personal friend of mine. So I'm in Chicago today, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pay my respects. That's why I'm up early, about to get in the car, and I don't like to talk too much when I'm in the car. So that's why I'm talking to y'all so fast, so early this morning. So you said, Brother Ricky, so how does that help me? Okay, well, the first thing you want to do is you want to come in and learn what it is that you don't know. You said, Brother Ricky, that's great. Can I have an appointment with you? That'd be great. You got $50,000? Okay, I'll show you how to put the right arm on. Okay, if you don't have $50,000 for an appointment, then come to the Financial IQ Challenge. You can come to that for as little as $97, and the most you can pay me is $597. That's the most you can pay, and that's for a whole entire week. Are you hearing me? Imagine me teaching you for a whole entire week how to change your armor, because y'all taking a knife to the gunfight and it don't work. Are you hearing me? You said I don't have $97. Man, stop playing. All right, you don't have $97. You alive. You got $97. You're gonna spend that this weekend on McDonald's. Are you hear what I'm talking about? So just put challenge inside of this chat if you want to come, because we only got 2 days left. All right, because I'm not gonna be here talking live this week. I'm gonna be in that challenge helping everybody who doing what, who ready to go to the bank and get their stuff right. Everybody wants to come in and have the right armor on. I'm gonna help you. All right. Other than that, you're gonna keep going back and forth into these banks, and you're gonna lose the war. I'm talking to you today about how to win the money game. And I'm just getting right down to the nitty gritty. If you're not getting your money back from the bank, you're losing the game. Why? Because it's taking you too long to make some money. You're doing all that hard work. It's not just about making money. It's about what happens to the money after you make it. All right. Say, when does the challenge start? Starts Monday, dear. Monday, 11 o'clock a.m. If you come into the section, the VIP section, you can hear all the questions that everybody asks me. You can ask me a question if you're in the platinum section. That's the best section to be in. But you can be in the Facebook session, which is the second half every day. So 11 o'clock a.m., 2 hours a day, all week long. You said, Brother Ricky, I'll be at work. You can watch the replay. The replay is good for 24 hours a day. You said, Brother Ricky, I just don't have time. Well, don't come. All right? Just keep doing what you're doing. I'm not trying to make you do anything. I'm just telling you what we do. I'm telling you how I got $1,042,000 income, tax trust tax refund. That's more money than some of y'all gonna make in y'all whole life. That's just one tax refund we got. Are you hearing me? Why? Because we got the right armor on. We go in with an irrevocable common law. We got two different trusts. One is an irrevocable common law ministry trust, a 508 ministry trust. That's the one that we get the 10x star bank deposits off of. I'm not telling you, I'm not guessing. I'm not telling you about stuff pie in the sky. I'm telling you how we live, and I'm telling you what can happen to you too, possibly. But you got to come and get educated, and that's why I do not have time for a whole lot of personal appointments. It's just not realistic. But you can come and learn all week long in a money environment with rich people, wealthy folk who teaching you what it is that we're doing and not holding back on nothing. You hear what I'm saying? You will not leave out after no 5 days of hanging around with us. You're not going to be the same person. It's impossible. Some people I've had 30, what this 30 challenge number 37 something coming up. I'm losing track. I've had some people who have made every single financial IQ challenge since I started doing it. We're going on 4 years now. Why? Because they like, man, that's a great money environment. Man, we over here winning. Are you hearing me? I've got people who came in, put their house in a trust, don't ever pay no more income taxes on their house. All they do is get a statement saying your taxes been paid. Are you hearing me? Are you listening to me? Who wants to put their house in a trust and then don't never have to pay property taxes for the rest of your life? Put me in the chat if that's you. I said, who wants that to be you? Take your house, you put it inside of our ministry trust. Boom, no more taxes for the rest of your life. Put me in the chat. Is anybody else Are y'all awake this morning? I know it's early, but are y'all awake? Does anybody want somebody ask me a question? Question. I need to get out of that. Please send me this link for the class. Yeah, just put challenge. Just put challenge. Just text challenge. That's all. Okay. Just text the word challenge. That's all you got to do, and the link will automatically come to you. Okay. You don't have to do anything else. Just put the word challenge in. So, so this is why I love David. I love the life of David because David is uh somebody say you tell oh you say I'm telling no lies. You right about that? I ain't telling no lies, right? Because I got the money to prove it. All right. So David, who wants to have the spirit of David? All right. The spirit of David. All right. If you want to have the spirit of David, put SOD in the chat. So God will bless you this weekend to let the spirit get on you that I'm teaching you. All right. Who wants the spirit of David? Put SOD in the chat. See, I have the spirit of David. I will not allow giants around me to subdue me. Why? Because I changed my armor. I'm like, you know what? This stuff does not work. This regular stuff going to here, these institutions are large. These are behemoth institutions. And just walking in here naively, I'm in a deal where they keeping all my money and I don't like it. You know, and if I was you, I get the spirit of David too. Spirit of see, David is indignated when he sees this giant. Everybody else is sitting around afraid of the giant. But David is not afraid. Why? Because David knows common law. You say, what do you mean? What are you talking about common law? David knows the word of God. If you ever want to read the word of God, just read the Psalms, all them songs David wrote, all those songs he wrote, with all those, he made number one hit after number one hit after number one hit. If I was you, I pray to God today, Lord, give me the spirit of David. But David said, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm number 27. The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When my enemies, even my foe, came upon me to eat of my flesh, they just stumbled and fell. That's the spirit of David. When you got that kind of attitude, then you do what? You come on out and you fight the giant. Now, the beautiful thing about fighting a giant with the right armor is that the giant doesn't stand a chance. See, when you fight the giant with the wrong armor, you don't stand a chance. Why? Because you can't beat no giant with no statutory stuff. Are you listening to me? Why? Because they're the ones that created the statute. Are you listening to me? So when you operate up under statutory law and you walk into a bank, you don't have no props. Ain't nothing happening. You're not getting no money back. You ain't gonna never see your money again. You're just gonna give it out and it's gone. Why? Because you are operating up under their statutes and they are giants. Are you hearing me? They got that stuff set up for what? Unlearned people. Unlearned people just walking to the bank extremely naive. And like, you know what? Let me just drop off another deposit to you. And you continue to run your mammoth businesses. Just live your life and enjoy your life while we over here struggling. While we can't hardly move. I'm in Chicago right now because I have the spirit of David. All right. I came in to see my daughter yesterday. So my ex-wife, her name is Sharon. Beautiful person. We get along real good friends. Shantice's mother. So she came up there too. She's an excellent person, a phenomenal person. And we're very good friends, extremely good friends. So when she came in, she she said, Brother Ricky, she said, the University of Chicago has a program that might be able to help Shantice. I said, really? She said, yeah. She said they can evaluate her situation and take all of her records. And some of y'all may want to know about this if you're anywhere near the Chicago area. The University of Chicago is probably in Northwest and probably the top two hospitals in the Chicagoland area. So we really want to get to the bottom of what's going on with our daughter. Why she has one thing after another dealing with this lupus, and we want to get to the root of the problem. We're tired of them just medicating her, medicating her, medicating her, medicating her. And Shantice is an amazing human being. That she's alive and sane. It can still, I mean, procedure after procedure after procedure. So I have the spirit of David. So I'm not gonna call her and tell her I'm gonna be praying for you from a distance. I get on a plane and I come down here to see what's going on so that we can be in a room to talk to the people at the same time. Why? Because we have the spirit of David. We don't waste time with our money. Why? Because we know that if we waste time with our money, when it comes time for us to be able to do something for our own family members, we're going to be someplace trying to make some money. So I'm not going to make all my money, go put it in the bank keep all the money, and then I got to go out and do a whole bunch of more work just to work for the bank. I don't work for the bank. Are you listening to me? And you shouldn't either, but you got to change your armor. If you don't change your armor, You are literally working for the bank. Why? Because every time you make a deposit, they go out and get rich off of it. They can take their kids and put them in the best schools. They can take their kids and put them in the best hospitals if something happened to them. They got the best type of communication. They got see when a poor person gets sick, they go through hell. When wealthy folks get sick, not to say that money can always save a wealthy person, but would you rather be sick and poor if you got sick, or would you rather be sick and wealthy and you can deal with the situation? Which one would you rather be? All right. I say, would you rather be sick and poor or sick and wealthy, all things being equal, and you just, something happened to you? Well, naturally, it's just like Magic Johnson. When Magic Johnson got sick when he got AIDS in 1991 and 1992, because that man had so much money, they were able to treat him in ways that they weren't treating other people. Other people was just dying and dying miserable deaths too. Magic Johnson got fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter and stronger and stronger. And he's still alive to this day. I'm 60, what, two? So Magic got to be about 65, 66, 67, something like that, to this day, and still strong and vibrant and all that. Why? Because money answereth all things. Now, what I'm saying, I'm not saying that money is like God. What I am saying is don't underestimate and don't take your hard-earned money and go make somebody else rich. And then when you got trouble and stuff in your family, you can't go no place and handle none of your business because you are acquiescing to other people. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying get the spirit of David today. Be an SOD, all right? Be an SOD. Have the spirit of David. The spirit of David is like, I'm not doing what everybody else is doing. David is like, when he comes to there, when he gets up to the war, everybody else is shaking in their boots. David is like, I'm not a coward. You say, why? Because I understand common law. See, common law gives you courage. What do you mean when it's saying common? I'm talking about the Bible, common law, constitutional law. It gives you courage, and it puts on the right. It gives you the right weapons to fight with, because you have to fight the system to get your money. You're not going to get your money without fight. Oh no, you're not. They're not going to just give it to you. They're not going to even tell you how you got it coming. You don't go in the bank and they sit down and say, "Let me educate you." Okay, we are about to file a 1099-A on your behalf and keep your bank deposits because you don't want it. All right, it's our job to educate you. Do you want that money? You say a 1099-A. What is that? Well, that means a 1099-A. It means acquisitions and abandonment. So if you don't file this 1099-A, then it means that you are abandoning these bank deposits. Are you aware of that, sir? Ma'am, are you aware of that? No, because they don't fight fair. So they don't tell you that. All they do is get you in and ask you a bunch of questions. What's your mama's name? What's your mama's maiden name? Where do you live at? Where do you work? What's your annual income? What's your social security number? They actually badgering you with a whole lot of questions. And you're the one that's bringing the money in and handing it to them. What I'm telling you today is that don't make sense. It don't make sense. Don't make sense. Put DMS in the chat if you agree with that. Don't make sense. It don't make sense for you to be questioning me, and I'm the one handing you some money. I've never seen anything in my life more more gangster than me bringing you some money and you questioning me. I've never seen nothing more gangster than that. All right, it don't make sense. It don't even make common sense. And it definitely ain't right for me to be for you to be questioning me about me giving you my money. Whenever I loan people money, I question them. I'm like, okay. People say, Brother Ricky, can you help me do this and help me do that? I'm like, okay, the first thing I need to see from you is I need to see your schedule from last week. And they're like, what do you mean? And I say, I need to see what you do at your time because I take care of my business with my time. And if you're tricking your time off, you expect me to take my money that I went out and earned by being disciplined and diligent and handling business, and you sitting around watching TV and eating Doritos and tricking your time off, and no wonder you can't pay your whatever your bill is. Well, no, I'm questioning the person that wants to borrow the money from me. I'm not gonna. I'm not. You ain't gonna question me, and I'm the one giving you the money. Are you hearing me? So when you go into the bank and you make a bank deposit, just thinking what they over here question is, and they start asking you all these questions. You ought to be like, question is how soon can I be getting back these deposits? So when you operate the way we do, we walk in with the right armor on. So the right armor is what? First thing you got to put on is you got to put on a tax-free EIN. That's the first thing you got to put on. This is the armor you wear when you walk into the bank if you want to win this money game. All right. If you want to win this spiritual warfare, this financial warfare, because it's war. This is war, baby. This ain't nobody's conceding anything to you. You got to know what to do. Once you know what to do, then they don't have no choice but to concede. Are you hearing me? It's just like that movie, The Bronx Tale, where Gangster Sonny, he comes in and he asks these bikers to please get out of his place. They acting a fool, tearing up his bar. So he walks in and say, "Can you guys please leave?" All right, because the Italian dude, he talk like that. "Can you guys please leave?" You know, he asking them real nice. So they say, "We ain't going nowhere." So he locks the door real cool and calm. All right, because they're a gangster, right? So he locks the door real cool and calm and say, "Now you guys, you can't leave." And then they beat the brakes off of them. Why? Because at first they had a choice, but then they didn't have no choice. So right now, when you go into the bank, they got all the options because you fighting with the wrong stuff. You fighting with statutory stuff. You got on Saul's armor. Are you hearing me? Saul's armor is why you ain't getting your money back. Saul's armor is why you losing the money game. So if you want to learn how to win the money game, then put challenge in the chat and come to the challenge so I can teach you how to change armor. All right. So everybody put CA in the chat. Put challenge if you want to come. And also put CA in the chat because it's time for us to change armor. Who's ready to change armor? If you're ready to change, I'm gonna put CA in the chat. I'm teaching you all formulas. These are the formulas of the wealthy. One formula of the wealthy is that what? We don't keep the same armor on that don't work. All right, because we're getting the mess beat out of us. So you hearing me? It's time to change armor so that you can change order. All right. CA equals CO. All right. You change your armor, then you can change the order because your house is not in order. Are you listening to me? Your house is not about to go preach at this funeral. Hopefully they love good preaching because you dig. I tell it like it is because I don't preach for no money. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to the funeral and get them some money. I'm gonna sing and preach and give them some money. Why? Because that's what I believe in. I believe in contributing when I come to see people. I believe in you ain't got to give me nothing. All right. And the way I preach, you probably ain't gonna bring me back no way. But it's my friends, so that's a different story. But anyway, I believe in order. All right. And I believe in God's order because God's order is spectacular. Are you hearing me? It has amazing benefits to it and an amazing clarity and competency of mind and tremendous results. So David, he comes within the right order. He said, "I'm not putting that crap on. I'm not putting on your armor." He said, "I'm not putting your armor on because it ain't working for you." Listen to me good. Hear me good, okay? That's why you got to come in the rooms and get advice with people who have already changed their armor. Because if you don't, we've got several people you'll get to meet in our challenge who already have tax-free, tax credit producing, um, tax-free EINs, and um, and ministry trust. So you'll meet people who already live the way that we live. So you'll meet people who are already exercising the way we exercise. You'll meet people who are already operating the way we operate because you don't know people like that. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you do not. The average person you walk up and down the street, they got the wrong armor on. So if it don't work for them, it don't work for you. So I like Saul's attitude. I like David's attitude because when David walks in, he's like, "Listen, I'm not trying to be like none of y'all. All right." He said, "Everybody out here fighting got on your armor, Saul." He said, "Every soldier out there, my brothers got on your armor." See, and I don't care who you're talking about. David's brothers, he got 7 big brothers, and they all out of the war. When David shows up at the war, they start mocking him. They're like, "What you doing out here, man? Why ain't you back at the crib handling a couple of little sheep? Why you out here fronting and stunting? You know, you ain't supposed to be out here with the, we know you. You just came out here to meddle just to try to find out what's going on. He coming to save them, and they talking crazy while he coming to save them. See, that's the way people hop when they have the wrong armor on. Then they have the audacity when you come in, you let them know, "Listen, I'm not doing what you're doing no more. You're operating with statutory law. Your stuff don't work." Why? Because you broke. I'm looking at you. All right. I'm looking at you. I've been knowing you all my life. Okay. I'm not taking your advice because it don't work for you. Excuse me. So if it don't work for you, it ain't gonna work for me. I got that much common sense. David said, "I got that much common sense. It don't work for you. It ain't gonna work for me. I'm not gonna put on your stuff that you fighting with. I'm not gonna put on your physical armor, and I'm not gonna take your attitude and your disposition into this fight because y'all scared." He said, "Y'all scared of that dude. All right. Ain't none of y'all bust a move. This man, Goliath, been standing out here for 40 days talking crazy. Ain't none of y'all bust a move. Why? Because y'all scared. All right. David's like, but y'all scared because y'all gonna lose the battle. That's why you scared. Why? Because you ain't got the right armor on. When you go over there, he gonna slice y'all head off. Y'all should be scared. Why? Because you ain't got no wind. But when you change armor, baby, it's a different story. Are you hearing me? So Saul tries to put this armor on David. David said, "Man, I can't." He said, "Man, I can't. Man, I can't." Anybody feeling like that this morning? People trying to impose they broke ideas on you. Anybody feel like that today? If somebody's trying to do that, just put "I can't" in the chat. I, I can't. All right, just put "I can't" in the chat. Come on, let's all get free this morning. Don't you have people giving you some really some knucklehead ideas? You're like, look, you broke. You ain't got a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out of, and here you are over here trying to tell me what to do. Just put "I can't" in the chat if you got somebody like, and let's break up out of that stuff. I hear him. I can't. I just can't. I just can't. I I just I just can't with you, man. Because it's amazing. It's amazing how people they in bad shape, and all up in your business. Are you hearing me? Making all these suggestions and stuff like that. Why? Because cowards love to give advice. They not gonna do nothing, but they love to advise other people. And that's amazing. How you gonna be a cowardly financial advisor? You don't do nothing with your money. You ain't even got no money. All right. And the little money you got, you hide it up under a pillow someplace or something like that. You ain't never seen a check from the Department of Treasury for more than $5,000, 3, 4, 5, $6,000. We got a check for $1,042,000. My wife got the check. Ain't doing it. It's not no pie in the sky. Just walking, it's just in the mailbox. Old fashioned money. All right. Everybody put OM in the chat. You want some of that old money? I say, do you want some of that old money that they actually mail to you? So you ain't never even got it. Y'all used to turbo stuff, that stuff to come back to you in a few. That ain't the way this money come in. When you get this money from a ministry trust, they mail it to you. Who wants some of that old money? All right, put OM in the chat. Some of that old money. Are you hearing me? Y'all ain't got on the right. You ain't never even heard of it. You didn't even know you get a check in the mail. You still thinking that what? It still comes with that little turbo tax stuff. I'm like that little itty bitty microscopic tax return you got. Are you hearing me? That's that little itty bitty committee stuff. I hear what I'm talking about. Why? Because your arm ain't right. You don't have on the right arm. You ain't fighting with the right stuff. You fighting with a toothpick and all that money they got. Are you hearing me? If you just read, if I just read the Greek words on the check that they sent us, and just the wording that comes with it, it talks about favor and advanced pay, and it's just you got to come to the challenge to learn that. When you come to the challenge, I'll actually read the check to you. All right. We ain't playing games. We show you our check and actually read the check to you and show you what a ministry tax refund looks like. Okay. So David is here, and remember again, we only got 2 days left. That's the only way for y'all to get at me. Now, somebody sent me a message this morning and say, "Brother Ricky, I just paid you $50,000 fee." I said, "Okay, cool," because they got businesses and they got stuff they need to do, and they're in a hurry. So you get my attention for $50,000. I'll talk to you. All right. I give you an appointment because I know you got a serious problem. All right. And it'll be worth your time too, because I'm gonna help you solve your problem. All right. You ain't gonna give me no 50 grand just so I can walk around and go get another pimp hat. All right. If you pay that kind of money, then I'm gonna help you with your problem. Okay. And you will not have your problem again. We get through talking. Well, I wouldn't even accept your money if I couldn't solve your problem. Why? Because you work way more than me than money is. Are you listening to me? I'm way more concerned about you than I am about your little money. All right. And $50,000 ain't no money either, not when you start getting $1 million checks. All right. So get your shenanigans right. Get your mind off of these little poo butt twos and fews you've been dealing with all your life, and get your mind on the fact that you can have some posterity. All right, meaning some stuff that's going to last. Some stuff that's going to last. Every one of us deserve to be a millionaire. Okay, $1 million ain't even no money no more. It used to be a lot. Right now, it's just living expenses. Okay, so all of us deserve to be a millionaire, and the first thing we got to do is just change our armor. You ain't got to go out and do no whole lot of fancy work. You just got to make sure that that money that you currently working for and that you currently have is circulating back to you. All right, back. I want you back. All right, y'all heard what's the Jackson 5 cut? When I had you to myself, didn't want you around, but what? I want you back. That's what we ought to be singing to our money every time we go into the bank. Be like, all right, I'm gonna put you in here, but I want you back. All right, I'm gonna drop you off for a couple of seconds, but I want you back. Yeah, 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 yeah. I want you back. Now I want you back. Yeah, 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 yeah. I want you back. Baby. Everybody put J5 in the chat. All right. Don't you want your money back? All right. Well, come on. Everybody put J5 for the Jackson 5 in the chat. All right. That's enough. That's the best cut they ever made, boy. I want you back. I hear me. Come on, y'all have some fun with me. It's Saturday morning. I'm about to go to a funeral. Cheer your brother up a little bit, all right? Everybody put J5 in the chat. Let's go. All right, so David. So David said, I can't fight with this armor. He said, because why? He said, because that's some statutory stuff you got. He said, it ain't gonna work for me. He said, so he just took it off. So Saul was like, all right, man, we go ahead and let you do your thing, chicken wing. He said, all right, but take this stuff up off me. Take this stuff up off me. Take this statutory stuff up off me. Take it off. All right, everybody put in the chat. TIO. Take it off. Who's ready to take this stuff off? Come on, let's come up out of this stuff. All right. Are y'all ready? Come on, let's come on. Come on. TIO. Let's go. I need at least 10 of y'all to take it off. Y'all ready? Come on. 10 of y'all, and then I'm gonna finish the story real quick. Come on, 10 of y'all. Let's come on, let's take it off. Y'all ready? Let's take it off. TIO. Take it off. Anybody coming? Let me see. What my church at this morning? I know it's Saturday morning, but ain't nothing wrong with a little service on Saturday. Let's go. Elena, come on. We're gonna take it off. Simone, let's take it off. Tracy, let's take it off. Lydia, let's take it off. Mary, let's take it off. Let's go. Come on, who else want to take it off? Carlos, let's take it off, baby. Sean, let's take it off. Let's go. Let's go, Joseph. Let's take it off. Let's go. All right, let's go. Sister Fuller, let's take it off. Let's go. Tammy, let's take it off. Let's go. Where you at? Come on. Gilletta, let's take it off. Where you at, baby? How you doing, Sister Treywick? Let's take it off. Let's go. Joseph, let's take it off. Uh-huh. Erica, let's take it off, baby. Take this statutory stuff off. Why? Because we can't fight with this stuff. All right, we're gonna lose that war. All right, so David said, let me up out of this stuff, man. He said, Saul said, hey man, can I ask you a question? Saul said, how you gonna beat this dude, man? He said, this dude is a giant. He said, how you gonna beat this dude? This dude's been fighting since he was a kid. He said, and you ain't nothing but a kid. You didn't notice that he's 9 feet tall, right? Makes Shaq look like a little boy. You did notice that his spear almost weighed more than you. You did notice that, right? And he got a dude in front of him that's an armor bearer. You know what I'm saying? And you did notice what everybody around is scared of this dude. What's wrong with you? Where did you get this moxy from? All right. Anybody ever heard that word moxy? Moxy means that you know something everybody else don't know. Now, you hear what I said? Moxie mean that you know something everybody else don't know. Who wants some moxie today? MOXIE. All right. If you want some, put moxie me in the chat. Do you want to know what everybody else don't know? I said, do you want to know what everybody else don't know? And they want to know why you so cool while you're walking around with your hat tilted to the side on Saturday morning. Because you know stuff they don't know, right? So put moxie me, because I want to teach y'all some moxie. I don't want you to walk around nervous and afraid. Are you hearing me? Because you don't have to be like that. You can walk around with moxie. I'm talking about amazing swag. I hear what I'm talking. When you walk into these banks and you got the paperwork correct, and you walk in with moxie. Why? Because you know something everybody else don't know. You ain't got to say nothing when you come in there except to make this an irrevocable, non-interest bearing account. Because everything is already done. Why? Because you got the war papers in your hand. So you ain't got to go in and start, hey, listen, you ain't gonna be taking my money. You're gonna give me my money back every year. You ain't gonna be doing me the way you did everybody else. You ain't got to even do no talking. Why? Because the paperwork do the talking. Are you hearing me? You just walk in with a lot of moxie because you already came in armed. You don't walk into the bank to get armed. You walk into the bank already armed. Did you hear what I said? Because that's your constitutional right to get your bank deposits back. Are you hearing me? That's why I'm publicly saying in front of the whole world, and can't nobody do nothing about it. Why? Because that's our constitutional right. Did you hear what I said? If it wasn't our constitutional right, I wouldn't be on here 6, 7 days a week for 8 years teaching y'all what to do. Excuse me. All right. So for all of you all who wondering about that, hey, Brother Rick, is all that stuff legit you talking about? Not only is what I'm talking about legit, but what you're doing is illegitimate. Right? You walking in with that armor you got on is armor that's illegitimate. You need to take it off. Are you hearing me? If you're going to win this battle. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? I'm not talking about what we heard. I'm talking about how we live. And I don't give people no choices about my money. I'm coming in with my armor on, so you ain't got no chance to win against me. I hear what I'm saying. You're going to share that money. Why? Because it's my money and you're going to share it. I'm not going to give you my money and you keep it. That's not going to happen. All right, why? Because I'm armed. What? I'm armed with what? The correct paperwork. I got what? Common law armor on. I don't have statutory stuff when I go into the bank. That because you ain't got nothing coming back, you're gonna lose. You're not gonna win that battle. Are you hearing me? So the challenge is how you get paid. Just put challenge in the chat if you haven't signed up already. Excuse me, and come and get educated. Come and learn what to do. All right, because that's how you learn. You learn through the challenge. And this is our 30. I can't even keep up. Is this number 37 coming up? Something like that. Number 37, I believe it is. It's coming up, and it's Monday. And if you haven't signed up, just put challenge in the chat, get the link, and jump on in. We'd be glad to have you. Okay, so here's David, and David says, I can't fight with this stuff because this stuff is holding me down. This stuff is holding me back. This stuff don't work for you, Saul. And Saul said, well, why? How are you so confident that you're going to beat this giant? David said, well, if you know what, just let me give you my resume. All right. He said, check it out. He said, I was out handling my business, shepherding the sheep. He said, and a lion came up and tried to gangster one of my sheep and tried to eat my sheep for lunch. Oh no, 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 no. I wasn't having that. Why? Because I give my life for my sheep. Okay, David is like, I'm about posterity. I'm all about protecting things. All right. Protecting things is what I do. All right. I am a protector. All right. I protect. Everybody put IP in the chat. All right. See, if this is the attitude you have, then when you get ready to go fight, you realize what you're fighting for. All right. So it changes what you do at your time. So David is in seclusion, and he's a protector. So he's used to protecting stuff. I mean, that's just what he does for a living. What, a shepherd? A shepherd is what? A 24-hour a day security guard. All right. David, David is used to protecting stuff. You hear what I'm talking about? he like he like he like, listen, you ain't getting this. You want these sheep over my dead body. All right. You remember people used to say that? Remember that back in the cowboy movies all the time? The dude be like, you're gonna have to unleash that. Pull his pistol out, right? The dude be like, pull his pistol out over my dead body. So David was like, if you think you're gonna get some of these sheep, partner, you're gonna have to kill me to get the sheep. Why? He said, because I'm a protector. That's what I do. He said, so God, because David is a protector, because he has that mindset, God gave him supernatural power. Supernatural power. I'm talking about with his bare hands, just grab the lion and break the lion's jaw. I mean, he said I grabbed him by his beard. I mean, they was close to each other, right? I mean, they was smelling each other's breath. This wasn't no long distance stuff like these little punks that grab a gun and run by everybody. Little sissies today, they little girly spirits. You did grab a pistol today and run by sideways, shoot everybody except the dude they got a beef with. Little punks. You did. This is some little sissies. You did. I'm talking about gunning folks down and stuff like dogs and little crazy as hell. I ain't hear me little punks with a gun, little sissies. They didn't have that attitude. David's attitude was, I don't need no weapons. All right. He said, I'm gonna kill this lion with my bare hands. I ain't hearing me. So when the lion showed up, he grabbed him by her beard, gave him the business. You know what I'm talking about? Then a bear come up, and the bear he must not have had, I don't know what social media the bear was paying attention to, but he must not have had Facebook. He must not have had Twitter. He must not have had LinkedIn. He must not have knew nothing about YouTube. And what the heck? He definitely wasn't on Instagram. Why? Because he didn't get the memo. He didn't know nothing about the fact that David done beat the hell out of a lion, and he shows up trying the same stuff. Hey, boo boo, let's come over and get some of them sheep, boo boo. Them sheep look good over there, boo boo. Uh huh. Boo boo. Boo boo. Well, yeah, boo boo done ran, right? Boo boo got Facebook because boo boo younger than Yogi. It's all in my sanctified mind. All right, can we have a little fun? I'm getting ready to go to the funeral. Cheer your brother up a little bit. All right. so he gets the bear. The bear come over and David get a bear the business too. And knock the bear out. So he said, Saul, he said, just like God delivered me from the hand of the lion, just like God delivered me from the hand of the bear. He said he's gonna do the same thing with this uncircumcised Philistine who out here defying the army of God and defying and God's people too. He said this gonna be off of this mark's head. Saul said, woo, I ain't never seen a presentation like that. Saul said, I ain't never seen a presentation like that. I ain't never seen an offer like that. He said, you know what? He said, take that stuff up off of him. He said, take our statutory stuff up off that man. Get that man what? Get that man a common law trust. Get that man what? Let him fight the way he fight. Let him fight with God because our stuff ain't working over here. See, when you have common law, you fight with God. God is fighting your battle. Why? Because you follow the law. And whenever you follow the law, God fights your battle. Are you hear what I'm talking about? I don't worry. It's impossible to lose a battle that God is in. Did you hear what I said? You just need to make sure that you what change arm and fight your battle with God. Don't fight your battle against God. Because when you're doing this statutory stuff, it's like God gave you the law and you fighting against the law, and then you end up broke. I'm talking about financial warfare. All right. This is war, baby. This is all out war. Are you listening to what I'm talking about? And that means that what we gotta be in order to win this war, you just gotta simply be fighting on the right side. So once you got that paperwork right, everybody gotta bow down. They ain't got no choice because that paperwork it supersedes anything that they want to do. It don't matter what a person want to do. They just do what they do what they are compelled to do by the law. All right. That's another thing that you learn in our challenge. On day number 4, I teach the law. On day number 4, that's all we talk about is the law. All right. That's my whole class on day number 4, breaking down the law to you to make you know how you can actually go in and get your money back, to let you know how you can actually live where you pay the taxes that you want to pay. All right. I teach you that law. I teach you those a litany of those laws on Thursday when you come into the challenge, and you're not ignorant about what to do. So then you have that moxy because you go into the bank with a trust that's written up based on the law. That's not based on guessing, not hoping and wishing, not you going to jail. None of that stuff the devil told you. All of whatever you got in your head that's blocking you, they all lies. Okay, everything that you're thinking about that's slowing you down got you thinking that brother Ricky's tripping, and he gonna get me. He gonna have me he gonna have me locked up with Bubba. You dig what I'm saying? You ain't going to jail. None of that stuff gonna happen around here. Okay, all right. Snap out of it. Okay, snap out of it. That's what all of David's brothers and everybody else was thinking when they was getting ready to fight the giant. They're like, this giant gonna kill us. This giant's gonna kill us. We ain't got no way of fighting him. So they was just what stuck like Chuck in a pickup truck for 40 days. Ain't bust a grape, but not David. Not David. Not David. Not David. David says, you know what? I got the goods. The man is good as dead. All you got to do is just let me in the fight. All right. And so David said, let me get some rocks. Let me get a couple of rocks. Let me get my slingshot out. The Goliath out there talking crazy loud. I'll get a. You're like, come to me. I'm gonna feed you to the animals and the wolves and doing all that talking. But he wasn't talking loud. But what? Ain't saying nothing. Ain't saying nothing. You're just talking loud, but you ain't saying nothing. You ain't listen. When you got this trust paperwork, and you understand common law, and you got an irrevocable, tax-free, tax credit producing ministry trust or asset protection trust, and you walk into the bank, it ain't nothing to talk about. The battle already over. You are totally in control. Are you hearing me? And you can be as cool as David was. Are you hearing? David ran towards them. He runs in there and he runs towards the giant. Not he ain't trying. He didn't run side by side. He didn't like try to sneak up on the giant's back. He approached the giant point blank, face point blank range. That's how we live. We don't live no scary lives. We don't live no baby please life. We confront the giant directly to their face. Did you hear what I said? And what the giant ain't got no choice but to do what? Bow down. Why? Because everything that God's law supersedes all statutory law. And I'm talking about the law. I'm not talking about religious stuff. I'm not talking about emotional stuff. I'm talking about your rights. And I'm talking about our rights, what we practice. Are you hearing me? That's why all I want for Christmas is to be able to take my family back to Hawaii. 20 people to Hawaii for Christmas last year. All I want for Christmas again is to be able to create another, is to be able to continue to create legacy. Because I'm 62 years old. These kids got to have some sense. These grandkids got to have some sense. When I get done today dealing with my daughter, I'm gonna take my grandsons, my granddaughter, sit down and talk to them about how to keep creating what it is that we're doing, and because I have the time to do it. Why? Because we are giant killers. We have time to do it. We kill the giants of fear and trepidation, anxiety, stupidity, ignorance, apprehension. Those are giants in the lives of people who won't run towards them and deal with them. But we don't deal with them on no emotional level, just tripping. We deal with them from an intellectual level of understanding the law and having the right work, the right paperwork to be able to win. Okay. So I don't want to be late for this funeral. So let me get out so I can make sure I'm there with plenty of time to spare. I love you all. I want to say a prayer for you now, because I know you have some giants in your lives. And I know that most of you all that's listening to me right now have not changed your armor. I realize that. Okay. So I I just want to pray for you that you have the courage to change your armor. Now listen to me. Let me tell you this before I go. Commitment comes before courage. Let me help you. Okay. And the book that I really want you all to get is 10x is easier than 2x. I really highly recommend this book by my good friend Dr. Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan, a business coach for over going on 50 years now. So the book is great because it really correlates with the Bible. It's a great book, a really good book. 10x is easier than 2x. It'd be a great book. I'm gonna study it on the plane again. It's like my third time going over the book. So one of the things that I really love about the book, though, is that uh, is the idea of oh, man. I was going to pray for y'all. Like, stop laughing. Stop laughing. They say, how old is Ricky? Got right in the middle of the idea if you got the idea. I started thinking about how good the book is. All right. Oh, commitment. That's right. Okay. So, who's that laughing at me? Lavinia, stop laughing. I know you're laughing at your brother. Oh, thank you for putting it in the chat. All right. So the book talks about committing first, and then you get courage. That's my point. All right. So my point is this. He said, Brother Ricky, a lot of that stuff you be talking about, it's over my head. Well, of course it's over your head until you start learning. All right. Just like you didn't know how to ride a bike until you started riding, right? But it won't be over your head long once you start learning. You say, so the key thing to learning is you got to commit to learning. So once you commit to learning, then then you get the courage and the moxy that comes along with doing the things that we do. All right. So it's not courage first. All right. It's not courage first. Everybody think, well, as soon as I get the courage up, I'll come and see you, Ricky. I'm like, no, just get your commitment up. And then once you get the commitment, you get the courage. Why? Because a lot of your courage you get, it comes from just being in the atmosphere of other folks who ain't taking no mess. Right? Because you start acting like them. You hear what I'm saying? Courage comes from the inside and your associations. All right. Because when you don't understand things, you have to be around other people who do and who are already doing what it is that you desire to do. That's why a challenge is important. That's why community is important. That's why it's important to get around folks who what make you want to boom, 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 and a zoom, zoom. All right. So remember, commitment first and then courage. Okay. Commitment, then courage. Not courage and commitment. Commitment first. Father, in the name of Jesus, thank you for my amazing brothers and sisters today. Bless my good friend, Loretta, as we go to eulogize her mother. Lord, bless her. Thank you for having such a great relationship with her mother. And bless Loretta and bless her children and and all the brothers and sisters, everybody that's involved. Lord. Thank you so much for allowing me to be safely around this country and the plane not landed in the sea anywhere, but landed on the ground. Thank you so much. We don't take one day for granted. And thank you for good health and good strength, having enough strength to be able to go and be able to help somebody else, Lord. That's what you told us to do. You said, when was I hungry and you fed me, naked and you clothed me, sick or in prison, you came and visit me. You said, when you do it to the least of these, you done it unto me. Thank you so much. We pray for Shantice today, that you'll bless her, that she'll be able to get the strength back in her legs to be able to walk. Thank you so much for her mother. Thank you for her mother and the whole family and her husband and everybody that's been coming down to check on Shantice as well. We don't take one day for granted. We know that one day we can be here, the next day we could be gone. So we don't take anything for granted. So we just want to say thank you. And I want to thank you for all my brothers and sisters now, Lord. I pray that they'll get their commitment level up. Lord, I pray that they won't have the spirit of, um, hey, um, Lord, Lord, help me when you've already helped them. I pray that their prayer would be, hey, Lord, um, thank you for teaching me what to do. And then they would go and do it. I pray that we'll stop praying for prayers of help when you've already helped us. And I pray that our prayer would be thank you. So, Lord, we're not praying for the help that you've already given us. We want to thank you for the help that you've given us. Now we promise you we're going to act on what you helped us on. Lord, David didn't come down there and start saying, hey, um, pray for me as I get ready to go fight this giant. David already knew that he was going to win the fight. David's prayer was already answered just by making it to the fight. Lord, that's all we want. We just asking you to, we just pray that you'll just help us make it to the fight. We already know we won. We just pray that you'll help us just to make it to the fight because every day, Lord, is a day of thanksgiving. And you we move and have our being. I want to bless you and bless the rest of this beautiful weekend. Thank you so much for being alive and well. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. You guys have a phenomenal day, okay? Be blessed in the city and the field. Love you much. We'll be checking in again for the weekend's over and have a great, great, great day. I see some of y'all at the challenge. The rest of y'all